Let's summarize recent mess on eBay. What do we know and what conclusions can we draw to apply in the future? Hello again and welcome back to the channel where we are trying to earn some money by selling stuff on eBay UK. I'm Polish Pete, I'm eBay reseller based in UK. I buy cheap ladies clothing in bulk and I sell them individually on eBay for profit. Today I've got some afterthoughts about recent eBay mess. When the site was down, servers were restarted and there was a problem with indexing your items and visibility. I've made 2 videos on this subject, and if you haven't seen them, I'll put links to both of them in the description box. So let me tell you what has happened. So at the end of May, around 25th, if I remember correctly, my sales have crashed and burned, and it all looked like exactly like last year, like last year's eBay Gallon. Website was crashing, servers were being restarted several times a day. It's not you, it's us. We've looked everywhere and all that stuff. And most importantly, absolute lack of visibility of items. Sales deserts, long spans of time with absolutely no buyers activity, no watchers, no offers, no sales, not even a question about the item. And then suddenly everything was running more or less normal during the weekend to crash again on Monday morning. So in my opinion, at the moment, situation is more or less back to normal. I mean, almost back to normal, because I still feel repercussions and I will feel them for next 3 weeks, I would say. But it should be better day by day. As the day passes, it should be better with each day. I'll explain that in the moment. First, I want to talk about 2 things. One, I know for sure, well, like 99% of certainty, that this is actually what has happened. And the other thing is only a preliminary observation, but I get more and more and more evidence about it literally every day. I'll make a separate video about this one in about 3-4 weeks, maybe a bit earlier, because I want to be sure before I say something loud and clear. And I want to make some more observations. I want to see if that patterns continue. So let's start the first thing, visibility. As a part of my poor man's method of eBay reset, once a week, on Monday morning, I add some of my items to my promoted listings. And the items that I add to the campaign are as follows. Everything that has less than a week until I end and sell similar it. So about 23 days or items that are about 23 days or older. They all go to the promoted listings because I want to kind of make a sale out of them before I need to end and sell similar. Then I add also all the items that are 14 days or older and have less than 10 views, since I've listed them, so 14 days or more. And then I add all the items that are at least 7 days old and have 0 views so far within those 7 days. And I've seen it already on Monday the week before, but this week, last Monday, it was pretty obvious. So all my items listed during those server failures and those server restarting periods and those server restarting days and those days when website was crashing had a very, very, very poor visibility. I mean, 80% of them had zero views. Zero views. Swales of items. I mean, swales of items. I think there was like between 200 and 250 items on each shop, and literally 80% of those had zero views, and the rest of them that had actually had some views, it was like 1, 2 or 3 views. Literally single items had more than 10 views. Single items, like maybe dozen across both shops, and that strongly indicates poor visibility, especially if I compared them with items listed on Sunday, so a day before, and these items after one day of being live had more views than items being listed for like what, 1.5 weeks or 2 weeks, something like that. So yeah, mental, absolutely mental. The conclusion is that all those items listed between those server failures have not been indexed by the algorithm, or they have been indexed poorly, or they have been indexed the way that doesn't give them any velocity. So next time when you see server failures, my advice is, website being down and down again and up and down and up and down, and it's not you, it's us, and all that kind of stuff, crap. If you see that, just stop listing. Just stop listing. There is no point. There is literally no point to list or end and sell similar. I mean, you can still do that, but save those items in your drafts or save those items in your scheduled listings and list them back only when you know that the troubles have finished, that the website is working, that, for a day there was no crashing. Or wait to the weekend and see if that website is crashing on the weekends. If it's not crashing, then list them on the weekend. Because what's the point to list all those items when they get no visibility whatsoever? You are only using your free listing allocation, and that's it. And that's it. Literally, you can get a random sale out of them, but most of them will be buried down below somewhere in the eBay's God knows what landfill. Yeah. So if your listings are the same as mine, so all those listings listed during that time have no visibility, what can we do about it? Yeah, what can you do? We do about it? We can either end and sell similar them all now as soon as we can, and for me this is not an option because I don't have enough free listing allocation to do so. So for me, if I would do that, if I did that now, I would struggle at the end of the month because I wouldn't have listing allocation to do my poor man's method later down the line. So for me, this is not an option. So what else can we do? We can add them all to our promoted listings campaign to give them at least some chance to get sold, to give them at least some chance to gain some visibility and to put them in front of the buyer. And this is what I have done. Will it help? I don't know, but if it will, it won't be like massive help. I'll probably sell a couple of them a week, or maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of them a week, but nothing else, nothing more than that. So I really want to end and sell similar them, which means that I have to wait about 2-3 weeks to do so, as my cycle continues and as my cycle of poor man's method continues, and it will, when the time will come that I need to end and sell similar them, I will do it, and then I will probably regain those sales those proper sales, because at the moment at least 200 250 items in each of my shop is just invisible for the watcher, for the viewer, for the buyer, sorry. And this is why I said at the beginning that I will feel the consequences of that for about next 3 weeks. Sales are there, don't get me wrong, sales are there, but it's significantly less. Yeah, it's working, but it's working like kind of like a half a speed or 3/4 of a speed. Yeah, hopefully as soon as I, like I said, as soon as I and then say similar them, it will pick up full steam ahead. Second thing that I want to talk about, and like I've said, I need more observations because I can see the pattern. However, you know, when you have in your mind some sort of a theory and you see patterns, you tend to be biased a bit and you tend to see something that is confirmation of your theory and say, yeah, that's clear. And then you see something that denies your theory and then you kind of say, no, that's a coincidence, that's a randomness. Yeah, so that's why I want to wait a few more weeks to kind of see if this pattern continues, if this is what exactly is happening. I will make a separate video about it, but everything that I can see now looks like positive feedback triggers a boost in visibility of your items. If it's not an instant sale, then at least it's an instant influx of new watchers to whom you can send your offers to. When I say instant, I mean within an hour. So I get positive feedback and literally within an hour I get a sale. Or literally within an hour I get like anywhere between 5 to 15 watchers, new watchers on my items. And on the other hand, a lack of positive feedback causes sales deserts or those extended spans of no buyers activity. Like my listing were losing visibility or losing places in those search results. And this is something that I really need to look at in more details, that loss of the visibility, because I only have noticed that clearly yesterday and day before yesterday. So with those positive results, I have seen them for like about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. But this one, I've just noticed the pattern, so I'm really not sure about this one yet. But I've got 2 shops, and I can compare the situation on one shop and the other shop. So when I get feedback on one shop and I don't get feedback on the other shop, I can compare how they behave. And if I get feedback on both shops, they should both make sales, and I don't get feedback on any shop, then they should both go down. And when I get one on one and don't get on the other, it should be like that or like that, if you know what I mean. So it all looks to me that feedback, or rather a lack of feedback, is a major factor here on eBay. I can see that being a thing because with all that eBay reset and people, you know, resetting the shop every day or every 2 days, maybe eBay wants to take the control out of our hands and put control into their hands or the customer's hands. So if you do good job, you get feedback, then your shop is good. If you don't get feedback, meaning you don't do good job, then your shop goes down. I don't know yet. Like I've said, I need more observations. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for listening to this mumbling, bumbling, and all that stuff. Thank you for the privilege of being listened to. I hope you found this video interesting. If you have, please don't forget to click that like button. If you wish to support channel further, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so yet. I would be also very grateful for any shares of this video on your social media. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. God bless you all and bye bye.